Before smartphones, before laptops, before the internet, computers filled entire rooms. They were loud, slow, and unbelievably expensive. But in 1971, something incredible happened. A group of engineers created a tiny chip no bigger than a fingernail chip that would change the world forever. This is the story of the Intel 4004, the world's first microprocessor. In the 1950s and 60s, computers were massive machines built from thousands of separate parts: transistors, vacuum tubes, and wires. They could only perform one specific task and needed entire teams to operate them. Every system was built differently. No two computers were alike. But deep inside Silicon Valley, a revolution was brewing. The invention of the integrated circuit made it possible to place multiple electronic components on a single chip. And that was the first step toward creating something smaller, smarter, and faster. In 1969, a Japanese calculator company called Bizicom approached a small American startup named Intel. They wanted chips for their new line of electronic calculators. But Intel's young engineer, Ted Hoff, had a radical idea. Instead of designing multiple chips for each task, why not create one general-purpose chip that could be programmed to do anything? Together with engineers Federico Faggin and Stanley Mazur, Hoff turned this bold idea into reality. And in November 1971, they unveiled the Intel 4004, the world's first microprocessor. The Intel 4004 contained just 1,300 transistors, microscopic switches that process information. It could perform 90 to 1,000 instructions per second, operating at a clock speed of 740 kHz. That might sound tiny today, but in 1971, it was a miracle of engineering. For the first time, an entire central processing unit, a CPU, existed on one single chip. The age of the microprocessor had begun. The Intel 4004 was first used inside Bizicom calculators, but its potential was far greater. Soon, engineers realized it could power anything from traffic lights to spacecraft. It became the blueprint for the next generation of processors, like the Intel 8080 and 8086, which would power the first personal computers. What began as a small calculator chip laid the foundation for modern computing for every smartphone, every laptop, every smart device that exists today. From just 1,300 transistors to over 100 billion in today's chips, the journey that began with the Intel 4004 has never stopped. It sparked the digital age and era of innovation that continues to shape our world. Federico Faggin, Ted Hoff, and Stanley Mazur didn't just build a chip. They built the foundation for the information age. Their invention made possible everything from video games and smartphones to artificial intelligence. One small chip changed the world, the Intel 4004, the spark that ignited the computer revolution. If you enjoyed this journey into tech history, please like, share, and subscribe for more stories like this. Thanks for watching.